If I haven't made it clear already, I have way too many games, probably about 400 plus games on all my consoles and PC combined. So trying to find a website or application that can sort all those automatically, that can put those in without me having to do a lot of work would be great. And I think I've almost found it. Today, let's take a look at AllMyGames, a website that tries to unify your collections, your backlogs, and your wish list all in one place. Let's get started. So if you first get into AllMyGames without having any sort of account, you get shown this page. As you can see, it is a mobile optimized website, but you can also use it on desktop. All you have to do is enter in your email address, you get created an account, and you're off to the races. When you first log in, it'll ask you to import collections from Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and GOG. It's pretty simple. You just enter in your username and it'll scrape all the metadata from your public-facing profiles. It has to be public-facing. If your games are hidden from any of these profiles, it will not be able to collect any of the data. And for Xbox and PlayStation, it does it in kind of a weird way, but we'll get to that soon enough. You can organize these games in any sort of pattern you want, but usually it's mostly just backlog and sorting alphabetically or by newest added, and they have a Discord community. So if you want to ask the developers questions, if you want to interact with the fairly small community that they have that as well. But we'll take a look at that later because it's pretty barren right now. So let's log into my account and let's see what happens when you actually create an account. So here is the home page after you've created your account, gone through the little tutorial that they give you, and this is your home page. You have a now playing section for games that you've set as games that you're currently playing, and your backlog, which is every game that you've added in your backlog, which right now is sorted alphabetically for me, but you can sort that in another way. They again are pimping their Discord, so if you want to join their Discord and you haven't already, go ahead and do that when you get to this page. And they have a news section which categorizes everything based on all the games that are in your collection, which is pretty neat, but I don't care too much. Most of the news I get is from Twitter, Reddit, and all these other websites, and even directly from the sources themselves if I'm on their email listing. I couldn't find the word. So let's take a look at the game library, the thing that you'll be interfacing with the most on this website. So now, it is an alpha, but it is fairly feature heavy already, I would guess, for most people and their needs. For games, they all have this button that says favorite, so it'll get added to your favorite collection, gives you the platform that it's on, and you can click this button that gives it the signification of what its current status is in your library. So are you going to play it or are you not? Do you just not care about it? It's pretty nice. The 5-star system is alright. I guess most people aren't too in-depth in the reviewing their games, but me personally, I wish there was a little bit more. I wish I could give like a sentence or a paragraph, something to at least give more of an opinion, but they do aggregate this across the whole website. When you link a game to your account, it does have this little link thing, so it tells you, hey, I scrapped this when you logged in and entered in your username for that account, and it'll only give you that option. For GOG games and Steam games, you do have the ability to open inside the launcher itself, which is pretty neat, but I personally don't care. If I'm gonna play a game, I'll probably just open up the launcher or type it in myself and launch it. It's a nice convenience, but not anything to write home about, in my opinion. For Xbox and PlayStation games, though, it is a little weird. They can't really tell where it came from, especially if a game was released in that period when the Xbox One was just coming out and there were still games coming out on the Xbox 360 as well. So when it's linked to your account, you'll have the option to choose Xbox 360 or Xbox One. But when you first import the games, we come over here to this platform section, we see Xbox Legacy. So we'll click on that real quick, and we'll see all these games. There's Minecraft, which came out on both the 360 and the One. We have Max Payne 3, which is only a 360 game, but it's categorized as Legacy. So I have to manually go in myself, click on this, and once I refresh everything, it should be there. If we just wait a moment, sometimes it takes a while to refresh. So if we go back to Legacy, and it's not there anymore. Max Payne 3 is gone, which is good. You're gonna have to do this for all your games. Every game that you import from your Xbox or PlayStation library will be put in this legacy category. For the PS3, you're gonna have to do the same thing with PS3, PS4 games, and Xbox games even have a weird thing because I cannot find it. They have Xbox 360 and Xbox Live Arcade over here as two separate categories, and some games have both. And I don't know why, because usually if a game is on the arcade, it's not like a disc-based game, and I don't know how they categorize these. I do know that they get all of their metadata from IG. Yeah, nope, that's the wrong one. They get all their game metadata from the Independent Game Database, the IGDB. There we go. We got it this time. So I don't know if there's something with that website that is causing some of these issues or what. That's where they pull all of the pictures for all the games. As you can see, Ashes of the Singularity, they pull that metadata from that website, and also the genres they pull from the website and the release date. So if there's anything wrong with the game data, you're gonna have to take that up with the Independent Game Database, IGDB. It's just such a hard thing for me to say. For Steam as well, if you're someone like me, you might have a couple of things that are in like the tools that are not necessarily games. And let's see if we can just find one real quick. I can't. It's so far down, maybe. So the Godot engine. This is pulling some random game, but it's not really a game. It is a game engine. So I'm just going to remove that. It'll hide it in my library. And don't worry if for some reason you put something there that you want to get back. If you scroll over to the sidebar, scroll all the way down, hidden games will show back up. And let's see if we can find a tool real quick. Asebright, that is a tool, that is not a game, and that has been hidden in my library. I do wish they would just have that as a separate category, so that's the only thing I can see, but I'm not complaining too much. But this is just the collection. You can add games to your collection over here. If you click on add games to collection, and then search up the game name. Let's say Pokemon. There's a whole bunch of games that will pop up. And Pokemon Leaf Green. I don't actually own this game, but add it. And then it'll be in the other section. When you first add a game, it'll always add it to the other. And then we click on this, Game Boy Advance, and now it is out of other section and it is over in this Game Boy Advanced area. It does not have its own logo, unfortunately, but I guess if you beg the developers enough, they will add the little Nintendo logo if they feel like it, or make a little Game Boy thing. It's all up to them. You can ask them through the Discord. They usually respond fairly quickly for feature requests or just questions about the website. And the backlog is probably a really cool thing, but I find it kind of weird that currently playing is in the backlog. Maybe I guess that's a way to keep the website a little bit more minimal, but I just personally find that weird. Just in multiplayer games, they don't have their own setting. You have to set them as like currently playing or paused or might play or something. I find that weird. Just let me have another category for like a multiplayer only game that like never ends. And of course, you can reorder your backlog in whatever order you want. So if we want Half-Life 2 Episode 1, we change it to 1, and then everything else just gets moves down. It's okay. I wish there was an easier way than just entering in the number or clicking up and down. I wish there was like a drag and drop interface, especially if it's a mobile website, being able to just like long press maybe, if it were an app maybe, but I don't know. There's some UI things that I think could be fixed for this website. Even though it's in an alpha state, it's very small. I think they could easily iron it out before more people get onto it. If you want to add a game to your backlog from your collection, you're gonna have to go over here, click on one of the games and add backlog, and then we head over to backlog. It should show up right there. For some reason it adds it at the front, so you're gonna have to organize that yourself. And probably the weirdest thing about this website is the wishlist feature. I find it pretty weird. If I'm going to want a game, let's say I want this on Mac, let's say GOG. If I want it on GOG, it just won't let me for some reason. And I don't know, I don't get why this exists if there's not an easy way for me to just click on what thing I want, like Xbox One. It's an Xbox One game, but it doesn't show up here. It's a weird feature. I think it needs to be fleshed out more if they want it to be usable. But right now, I can't understand why it's here. I don't get it. If somebody can explain to me why they might have it here, let me know down in the comment section below. This is a feature that I personally wouldn't use, and I don't see a reason for anybody else to really use unless you're going to import it from the other accounts, which you can't really, I guess, but what do I know? I'm not the developer of this website, but I really wish there was just a better way to integrate this with the overall experience. And another thing, maybe it's because the website is an alpha, maybe it's because of some ad blocker I'm using, which I thought I disabled. If we click on get game recommendation, it's just broken. It doesn't work, and I don't understand why. So hopefully they can get that fixed soon, but me personally, maybe it requires Chrome, but I have not tried it on that. I'm currently using Firefox. It just doesn't seem to work. But all of this, your collection, your backlog, it all culminates into your public-facing profile. So you have cool badges for doing things like early adopter. If you sign up for the alpha, you get this badge. Educated gamer, I guess you get this if you do the tutorial. It wasn't really made clear to me. You can follow other people if they add new things that'll show up on your feed, and you can customize your username, share your profile with people, and everything that you have before will show up. Your favorites, the games you've completed, collection. It's cool, I guess, but not something I'm too personally invested in, especially just because the website's kind of lackluster with its current feature set. But if you click on a game, it's cool. It has a whole bunch of community rating sections. You get to see how many people rated it, and it gives you a small description of the game, which they also pull from IGDB. There we go, I did it again. And last but not least, for the whole experience, I recommend checking out their Discord. It is pretty barren, I do have to say right now, and that's not in terms of like the feature set or everything. It's just there's not really a lot going on. The community is very small. There's only a couple posts every couple of months, except for the times when somebody gets in a really nice conversation. But there's announcements on new feature sets and stuff like that here. They don't really use their blog too much from what I can tell. They have a feature request where you can recommend features for them. They have bug reports if you find bugs. They have social channels for content and games, and you can pick your platforms that you use that are currently supported on the website and talk with other people there. It feels kind of weird, especially just with how small the server is and how much or lack of content that is there. So I guess try and keep most of the chatting to general if you want to integrate yourself into this community. At least that's how I feel if I were to start doing it. So yeah, that is everything with AllMyGames. It feels lackluster, for the lack of words, I guess. It is in an alpha state, so it does have a lot to go through, but there's just so much more I feel could be done with this website to make it more cohesive. Your game library could easily be integrated with the public APIs of at least all the PC platforms. Playnight does it very well, and you can import all your games from Steam, GOG, Twitch, Origin, all those stuff into your account. For Xbox and PlayStation games, I wish they would automatically throw those games that you import into a console if there is only one selection available, and let the user know, hey, put these games that are in the legacy thing into their actual categories, because I think that would make it better for the users who are looking at somebody's collection, and for the person who is sorting their collection themselves based on if they want to take a look at only these consoles, especially if they have huge collections or if there's games that they just don't actually own anymore in order for them to remove it from their profile. When it comes to rating games, I wish they would give users at least the ability to add a couple of sentences to give their thoughts on the game, because I feel a 5-star rating doesn't really do much, especially if you don't know the person that well and you're just following their profile. The backlog, I wish they would give the user the ability to set a game as a multiplayer only game, because that is something that I think is very, very useful for games like PUBG, Counter-Strike, and a whole bunch of other games that people might only play as a multiplayer game. And the wishlist feature, I have mixed feelings on it. If they were able to integrate it with the other launchers, with the ones that just got added to Xbox and the one that exists on PlayStation, I think would be a much better feature. But where it sits right now, I don't think it's in that great of a state, and I don't think anybody is really going to use it. And please fix the get game recommendation. Maybe it's only me, but try and fix it if you can. Other than that, if there's anything that I missed, I want you guys to let me know down in the comment section below, along with your thoughts about this website in general. What do you think about it? Do you plan on using it? that is really all I have to say. Leave a like if you liked the video. You know what to do. If you didn't, let me know your other thoughts and any other websites or programs that I should check out that can do something similar to this. I really want to check all of them out that I can. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit the subscribe button somewhere over here, or check out one of the videos on the side. One would be one I recommend to you, which will be the Play Night video. One would be one YouTube recommends to you. Check out all the links down below where you can find my AllGames profile and sign up for the website yourself, and everything else that I do on the internet, such as my Twitter and Mixer accounts. As always, I'm gregandcin, and off to the next one.